welcome to the slow world, where the world quiets down and nature tells its story. Settle in and allow the weight of the day to drift away. There is nothing you need to remember. Simply listen as we follow a day in the life of a river otter. The story begins in the dark, in the close, comforting, and earthy dark. It begins in a holt, a den dug deep into the soft, stable earth of a riverbank, its entrance hidden from view by the gnarled, tangled roots of an old willow tree. Inside, it is a world of pure sense, of touch, and of smell. The air is cool and humid, thick with the rich, loamy scent of damp soil, the faint, sweet smell of decaying wood from the roots that form its ceiling, and the warm, musky, familiar scent of the otter's own body. It is a place of absolute safety, a sanctuary dug from the world itself. Here, in a nest of dry grasses, leaves, and soft moss brought in from the world outside, a river otter is curled in a tight, sleeping ball. His long, sleek, powerful body is a perfect crescent of brown. His thick, muscular tail, a powerful rudder in the water, is wrapped around him like a heavy blanket. His small, rounded ears are relaxed. His dense, waterproof fur, a marvel of natural engineering, insulates him from the cool of the earth. His breathing is a deep, slow, and steady rhythm, the only sound in the silent, dark chamber. Outside the holt, the world is beginning to wake. The deep black of the night sky is softening to a misty, pre-dawn grey. A low, lying fog hangs over the surface of the river, a soft, white breath rising from the cool water. The sounds of the night are fading, and the first, tentative notes of the dawn chorus have yet to begin. The otter, deep in his subterranean sleep, is not aware of these changes in the world of light. But he is aware of the river. Even here, deep in the earth, the river is a constant, living presence. He can feel its voice, not as a sound, but as a faint, deep, and steady vibration that travels through the soil, through the roots, and into the very floor of his den. It is the river's heartbeat, a rhythm he has known for his entire life. And now, that rhythm seems to call to him. He stirs. The movement begins as a small twitch of his long, white whiskers, those incredibly sensitive organs of touch, which can feel the faintest changes in air currents, even in the pitch dark. His nose, a small, black, leathery patch, twitches as well, tasting the familiar air of his home. He yawns, a wide, silent stretching of his powerful jaw, revealing a glimpse of sharp, white teeth. His eyes, small, dark and intelligent, open in the darkness. They see nothing, but they do not need to. He knows this space by touch and memory. He uncurls his body, stretching his long, supple spine with a deep, satisfying pull. He is a creature made of muscle and fluid grace, and the act of waking is a slow, luxurious return to that state. He grooms himself briefly, a few quick licks of his paws, a smoothing of the fur on his face. But the deep, meticulous grooming will come later, after his first swim. Now, a different, more urgent instinct is rising within him. The call of the water, the call of the hunt, the simple, joyful call of a new day. He moves through the darkness of his den, his low, slung body flowing over the earthen floor. He enters the main tunnel, a narrow passage that slopes gently downward. He can smell the river more strongly now. It's fresh, clean, watery scent, a powerful lure. He can hear it too, the soft, gurgling music of the current, growing louder as he approaches the entrance. He moves with a quiet, confident purpose, leaving the warm, earthy darkness of his sleeping place behind and heading toward the cool, misty, waiting world of the river. The otter reaches the end of the tunnel. The entrance is a low, dark hole, perfectly concealed among the tangled roots of the old willow. From here, he can see the world outside. It is a place of soft edges, of muted colours, of profound and beautiful quiet. The river flows past, its surface a smooth, grey, green, partially obscured by the thick, white tendrils of the morning mist. The air is cool and still, and the world seems to be holding its breath. He pokes his head out of the den, his whiskers twitching, his dark eyes scanning the opposite bank, upriver, downriver. He is a creature of caution, always aware, always observing. He listens. He hears the gentle, lapping sound of the water against the bank. He hears the distant, unseen splash of a fish. He hears the faint, high-pitched call of an early, waking bird. The world is safe. He does not hesitate. He flows out of the den, his long, sleek body a single, fluid motion. He slides down the short, muddy slope of the riverbank, a path worn smooth by his own repeated use. And with a soft, clean splash, he enters the water. The cold of the river is a shock, but a welcome one. It is a jolt of pure, vibrant life. His dense, oily fur protects him instantly, trapping a layer of air against his skin, a perfect, natural wetsuit that keeps the chill from his body. He disappears beneath the surface, leaving only a small, spreading circle of ripples behind him. Underwater, it is a different world, a silent, green, and beautiful world. The light is dim, filtered through the water and the mist above. Sunlight has not yet penetrated these depths. Long strands of aquatic plants sway gently in the current, their green fronds like the hair of sleeping water spirits. The river bottom is a mosaic of smooth, algae-covered stones, patches of sand, and the dark, sunken shapes of waterlogged branches. The otter is transformed. On land, his movements can seem a little clumsy, his body low to the ground. But here, in the water, he is a creature of pure, breathtaking grace. He is in his true element. He uses his powerful hind legs and his thick rudder, like tail, to propel himself through the water with incredible speed and agility. His body undulates, a brown, liquid arrow. His webbed feet give him power and control. He closes his nostrils and ears, and a special, transparent membrane covers his eyes, allowing him to see clearly underwater. He twists, he turns, he rolls, not for any purpose, but for the sheer, simple joy of movement, of being in the water. He is washing away the last traces of sleep, fully embracing the new day. But the joy of movement soon gives way to the call of hunger. His playful rolls and dives become more focused, more purposeful. He is hunting. His long, sensitive whiskers are his primary tool. They trail in the water around his snout, feeling the faintest vibrations. The subtle changes in the current that signal the presence of prey. He dives deeper, following the contours of the riverbed. He investigates the dark spaces beneath an undercut bank. His whiskers detect a subtle movement. He uses his nimble front paws, with their sharp, non-retractable claws, to probe beneath a smooth, flat stone. He feels the hard shell of a crayfish. With a quick, deft movement, he flips the stone over and grabs the creature. He surfaces with his prize, and with a few powerful strokes, swims to a favourite, flat rock on the riverbank. He holds the crayfish in his paws and eats it with a series of loud, satisfying crunches. The taste is fresh, clean, and vital. It is the taste of the river itself. He eats quickly, his sharp eyes still scanning his surroundings. When he is finished, he dips his face in the water to rinse his whiskers, and with another, almost silent splash, he is back in the river. His first hunt of the day, a success. After his morning hunt, and a few more joyful, exploratory dives, the otter feels a new instinct begin to rise. The need to rest and the vital, all important need to groom. The sun has now climbed above the trees, its warm, golden light burning away the last of the river mist. It is time to come ashore. He swims to a favourite spot on the riverbank, a small, secluded, sandy patch flanked by a large, sun-warmed, flat-topped boulder. He pulls himself out of the water, his sleek, dark fur dripping, and shakes his body, vigorously from head to tail, sending a fine spray of water droplets sparkling into the air. He climbs onto the sun-warmed rock. The heat of the stone feels good against his cool, damp body. He begins the vital work of grooming. His fur, so dense and beautiful, is his lifeline, his insulation against the cold water. It must be kept in perfect condition. It is a task he undertakes with meticulous, focused care. The otter's coat is a marvel of 2 layers. A soft, incredibly dense underfur traps a layer of air, keeping his skin dry and warm. Longer, glossy guard hairs on the outside provide a waterproof, protective layer. His grooming is all about maintaining this perfect system. He rolls onto his back, a posture of pure contentment and trust in the safety of his surroundings. The sun warms his pale, cream-coloured belly. He begins to work with his nimble front paws and, with his mouth, rubbing, fluffing, and combing his fur. He meticulously works through every part of his body he can reach. His chest, his flanks, his powerful tail. He is forcing air back into the dense underfur, realigning every single hair and spreading the natural, waterproofing oils from his skin. He rolls and rubs his back against the warm, rough surface of the rock, using its texture to help clean and dry his fur. He looks for all the world like a creature lost in a state of pure, simple bliss. This is not just a chore, it is a deep, satisfying ritual, a form of self-care that is essential to his survival. The process takes a long time, perhaps half an hour or more. He is in no hurry. The forest around him is alive with the sounds of the late morning. A kingfisher, a flash of electric blue, rattles its sharp call as it flies upriver. A dragonfly, its wings a blur of iridescent cellophane, hovers for a moment over his head before darting away. He is aware of these things, but his focus is on his task, when his fur is perfectly clean, dry, and fluffed. He stops. The sun is high and warm now. His belly is full. His coat is in perfect order. It is time for a nap. He leaves the exposed, sunny rock and finds a more sheltered spot, a patch of soft, thick grass at the base of the old willow tree. He turns in a circle a few times, tamping down the grass to make a comfortable bed. Then he curls up, his tail wrapped around him, his head resting on his front paws. His breathing slows, his dark eyes close. He drifts into a light, peaceful sleep. The sounds of the river, the warmth of the sun, the scent of the earth. These are his lullaby. He is a creature perfectly at home in his world. His morning's work complete, his body now at rest, gathering its strength for the adventures of the afternoon. The otter wakes as gently as he fell asleep. He lifts his head, blinks his dark eyes in the dappled afternoon light, and yawns. The sun has moved across the sky, and the shadows have grown longer. The heat of midday has passed, leaving a warm, pleasant, and languid air. He feels a new energy stirring within him, not the sharp, focused energy of the hunt, but something softer, more curious. The urge to play. He slides back down the bank and into the cool, refreshing river. He dives deep to a quiet place on the riverbed, where a collection of smooth, rounded stones lie. These are not just any stones. He knows them. He nudges them with his nose, rolls them with his paws. He is searching for a particular one. His favourite. He finds it. It is a small, dark, perfectly smooth, and satisfyingly heavy stone, worn into a perfect oval by centuries of the river's patient caress. He picks it up with his front paws. He swims to the surface, rolls onto his back, and begins to play. He floats gently in the current, the stone resting on his chest. He tosses it into the air, a small, arsing flip, and catches it with a soft splash. He rolls it up and down his chest and belly, his paws incredibly nimble and dexterous. He passes it from one paw to the other, behind his back, under his chin. This is not for food. It is not for survival. It is for the pure, simple, and profound joy of it. It is a form of meditation, a quiet, focused game played between him and his stone and the river. Sometimes he lets the stone drop. It sinks quickly into the green, murky depths. He watches it fall, then dives after it, a sleek, brown torpedo. He chases it down, catching it just before it hits the bottom, and returns to the surface to begin the game again. It is a display of incredible skill, of perfect coordination, of a mind that is not burdened by worry or planning, but is fully present in the simple pleasure of the moment. His play is a quiet, personal affair. He is his own audience, his own playmate. A turtle, sunning itself on a nearby log, watches him for a while with its ancient, unblinking eyes, then slides back into the water. The otter does not notice. He is lost in his small, perfect world of play. After a time, he tires of his game with the stone. He carries it carefully to the riverbank. and places it in a small, hidden nook among the willow roots, ready for another day. His playful energy is not yet spent. He finds a steep, muddy slide on the riverbank, a place he and other otters have used for years. He scrambles up to the top. Then, with a joyful abandon, he tucks his legs in and slides on his belly, plunging into the river with a great, happy splash. He climbs out, his fur slick with mud, and does it again. And again. Each slide is a moment of pure, exhilarating release. This is the essence of the otter's spirit. A deep capacity for stillness and patience, balanced by an equally deep capacity for joyful, spontaneous play. He is a creature that understands on a level deeper than thought that life is not just about survival, but about finding moments of simple, unadulterated happiness. He is a teacher of the art of living in the now, his classroom the cool, green, flowing world of the river. As the afternoon light begins to soften and warm, the otter's playful energy subsides, replaced by a growing, familiar hunger. The golden hour is approaching, a time of rich, beautiful light and of renewed activity for many of the river's inhabitants. He leaves his muddy slide behind and begins to swim upstream, his movements more purposeful now, more focused. He is exploring the edges of his territory, patrolling its boundaries and looking for his evening meal. His territory is a long stretch of the river, several miles in length. He knows every bend, every deep pool, every fallen log. He reinforces his claim to this space with a language of scent. He pulls himself out onto a prominent, flat rock and deposits a small amount of spraint, his unique, musky scat. It is a clear, pungent message to other otters. This place is mine. I was here. The scent is not just a warning, but a complex bulletin telling other otters about his age, his health, and his status. He continues his journey, swimming close to the bank, his head and back barely visible above the water, creating a small, V-shaped wake behind him. The world is bathed in a warm, honey-coloured light. The shadows of the trees on the opposite bank stretch long and dark across the water. He sees a flash of movement in the shallows. A small frog resting on a lily pad. The otter dives, his movements silent and swift. He approaches from below, a dark, sleek shape in the water. The frog, sensing the danger at the last second, leaps from the pad, but the otter is faster. He snatches it in his mouth and surfaces, swimming to a fallen log to eat his small evening snack. The sun dips lower, its light turning from gold to a deep, fiery orange. The sky is a canvas of breathtaking colour. The sounds of the river are changing. The daytime birds are singing their final, evening songs. The first crickets are beginning their high, chirping chorus from the long grass on the bank. The otter feels the change in the air, the coming of the night. He makes one last, deep dive into a familiar pool. His whiskers, searching the dark crevices between the rocks. He is not just hunting for food now, but seems to be saying goodbye to the water for the day. One last, joyful immersion in his element. He chases the shimmering, silver flash of a small fish, twisting and turning in a beautiful, underwater bollet. But the fish is too quick and escapes into the darkness of a deep crevasse. The otter does not mind. The chase was its own reward. He surfaces, shaking the water from his head. The colours of the sunset have faded now, leaving a sky of soft, deep violet and grey. The day is over. The instinct to return to the safety and warmth of his den, to the familiar, earthy dark, is now the only thing that guides him. He turns and begins his final, quiet swim home. The otter swims through the twilight. The river is a different place at this hour. It is a world of silhouettes, of softened edges, of deep and mysterious shadows. The surface of the water is a dark, placid mirror, reflecting the last, faint light of the sky and the first, bright diamond-like stars. The air is cool and still. The sounds of the day have given way completely to the sounds of the night. The deep, resonant joggo, rum of a bullfrog. The high, pitched, insistent chirping of 1,000 crickets. The distant, ghostly call of an owl from the deep woods. The otter swims through this nocturnal symphony, a silent, dark shape moving through the water. His passage is marked only by the gentle, lapping sound of his own wake. He is tired now. It has been a long and full day, filled with hunting, grooming, playing, and exploring. His body is weary, and the call of his safe, warm den is strong. He sees the familiar, dark shape of the old willow tree on the bank ahead. He is home. He swims to the bank, and with a final, wary push, pulls his wet, sleek body out of the water. He stands for a moment at the edge of his hidden entrance, shaking the water from his thick coat. He takes one last look at the dark, star-dusted river, one last breath of the cool, night air. Then he disappears into the earthy darkness of the tunnel. He moves through the familiar passage, the sounds of the night fading behind him, replaced by the close, muffled silence of the earth. He reaches his sleeping chamber, the air warm and thick with his own scent. He turns in a circle in his nest of dry grass and leaves, tamping it down, making it perfect. Then he curls into a tight, perfect ball, his muscular tail wrapped around him for warmth. His breathing, which had been quickened by his long swim, now slows, deepens, becomes a soft, steady, and peaceful rhythm. The day's adventures, the feeling of the cool water, the warmth of the sun, the smooth, perfect weight of his favourite stone, all fade as he sinks into a deep and dreamless sleep. The campfire, your campfire, crackles softly in the distance, a sound of warmth and safety. The River Otter, a spirit of joyful life and sleek grace, is at rest, held safely in the quiet, dark, and gentle embrace of the earth, dreaming, perhaps, of the endless, flowing river, and the promise of another day. Thank you for wandering with us in the slow world. May your rest be as deep and joyful as the otter's play, and may sleep find you gently